Last week, the message was नानक प्रभ शरणागति चरण बहुत परब देत से पाए दोए नरक ना पाइए गुरु रखण वाला है। पा दोए duality. Duality creates confusion, doubts, questions. That's why the line was pa-doe paraym pulaniya. Bharam means the illusion, which leads you into the oscillation of mind. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. That is pa-doe paraym pulaniya. Is there a way to get out of it? And the message last time was Nanak Prabhu Saranagati. Yes, there is a way out of it. What is the way out of it? If you want to get rid of the duality and the pain associated with the duality, then surrender to the one who is free of duality himself. If you surrender, if you follow, if you listen to those who themselves are trapped by the duality, they would not be able to help you. Because if they could, they themselves would have first come out of it. But since they have not been able to help themselves, your dependence on them is living in fool's paradise. So who should I depend on then? Nanak Prabh Saranagati. Saranagati means to surrender. Prabh means the ultimate creator. Surrender to the ultimate creator. And if you do that, Nanak Prabhu Saranagati Charan Bahod Prabh Det, then he will grace you, he will accept you, and then Sepa Adoe Narkana Paaye, then your hellish life would come to an end. And you will Gur Rakhan Wala Het. You will be blessed by him, by your master, by your guru, as well as by him. Having heard this message, the seeker moves on to the next step. And what is the next step? That is given in the hymn for this week. In the colloquial language, it is called month of Asun. A-S-U, Asun. And its literal translation is also done the same way. But like all other seekers who read and understand what suits them the best, we fall into the same trap. Because the word Asu does not exist in this hymn anywhere. Because if it was to be spelled properly, it will be a, sa, and u. That will be a su. But that's not the word here. We are outsmarting ourselves. Just as Jesus never made the egotistical statement, I am the way. An enlightened soul does not have an I. It does not have an ego. An enlightened soul cannot make a declaration of this type. But his followers certainly did. And the whole church is built on that by just changing one word. If he gave the message to the world, I is the way to get back to him. And some smart guy said, well, he's an illiterate and never went to college, doesn't understand the language, grammatically it's wrong. Actually, he should have said, I am the way. The whole meaning changed. He was saying, I, which separates you. Focus on that. Drop that. What separates you from him, which is I. When you drop that, work on that I, and you get back to him. Whatever, if you sit on the car and go northbound, you sit on the same car and you can go southbound. The same car, you can use it in going in either direction. His message was, I separated you from him, I can take you back to him. That message got completely lost, and the church said, since Jesus has said, I am the way, everybody surrender to him. Accept the Jesus in your heart and you go to him. Because he declared, I am the way. The master became a liar, the followers became a liar, the whole message got lost, and none of us ever got back to him. Just one word. Because if he was typing it up, sitting on a typewriter, he would have put inverted comma, I, another inverted comma, I, and he would say, is the way. Now we would be able to read it properly. But that was not the environment. But he still wanted to give the message. But we outsmarted ourselves. Same way here. Sikhism has fallen into exactly the same trap what the Christianity is. Because the word is not Asun. The spelling is a, sahaa-ee, Asun. Aada, sasse nu aukad, nanne nu sehari. Jehde Punjabi padhde ne. The word is Asun. What does it mean?
Never heard.
Something that cannot be heard. Sunna means to hear. Asun means something that cannot be heard. What does that mean? Go deeper into the word. What was the message earlier? पाए दोए नरक न पाए गुर रखण वाला है Nanak Prabhu Saranagati. Go to him. Go to who? Prabhu. What Prabhu? What God? The answer is Asun. The one who is independent of all the senses. The senses cannot comprehend it. Senses have no capability to know him. Asun. Sunna means I can use my ears and I can use my inner ear, and then I can use my audio tracks, and I can use my brain to interpret the audio. That means I have a mechanism here which can interpret the sound. But the one which is soundless, who would interpret it? It is that one which is being pointed out to you. The one who cannot be interpreted by any sense. Sense of touch, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of seeing, sense of hearing, sense of touching, nothing. He's beyond all senses. Indication was to that because the first paragraph had said Nanak Prabhu Saranagati. The word is Prabhu, the Creator. So that you don't fall into the trap of interpreting the created by looking at a painting, or a picture, a photograph, a statue, a symbol on the wall. So that you don't fall into that trap. Because these are all physical symbols, every single one of them. So that your mind does not wander. What do you mean by this? And the next paragraph said, Asun. What has happened to Asun? Now, the literal translation here, let me read you the line. Asun prem umaahrhaa kyon milee-ai har jaaay. Literal translation is, in the month of Asu, love for him is overflowing, and I want to find the way, how do I meet him? Dummy, what were you doing for the rest of the months? If it's the month of Asu that is creating the love for him inside, what were you doing the rest of the 11 months? And what is so holy about the month of Asu? That prem umaahrhaa, the love is overflowing. My cup overflows. Runneth over. Your cup is runneth over for love for him only in the month of Asu. And you are happy with this translation, happy with this interpretation, and you are repeating like a parrot to rest of the world. That's exactly what has happened. That's why I gave you the earlier example. The whole of Christianity says, Jesus said, I am the way, and the Muslim is saying, you all are nuts. Jesus is not the way, Muhammad is the way. And the Jews are saying, you both are nuts. Moses is the way. What's going on here? Don't you stop for a moment and ask, has anybody really achieved it? I am born again, I now reborn Christian, I have surrendered myself, that Jesus has come into my heart. Okay, fine. Have you stopped lying? Have you stopped getting angry? So the Jesus is sitting in an angry heart. What an enlightened soul image you are selling to the rest of the world. Are you glorifying him? Are you giving him a bad name actually? When you read scriptures, be very alert. Don't go after the traditions and wake up. Asun paraym umaahrhaa. Because the seeker was just given the message in the first paragraph, go into surrender to that one energy. Which energy? The energy that is independent of all senses. And once the seeker got that message, what happened to the seeker? Paraym umaahrhaa. Sudden love is arising inside. Sensation. And there is an urge. There is a push. Push for what? Kyun milee-ai jaaay? How? Kyun means how. Milee means to meet. Har means God. Jaa-ay means where should I go to meet him? Now the message is gone deep and it has created inner vibrations. Vibrations of what? Pure love. Love for whom? For him. Now the heart is beating fast in anticipation because somebody has just shown me the light. Somebody has just pointed me in the right direction. Asun paraym umaahrhaa kyun milee-ai jaaay? Now this inquiry is becoming intense by the minute. And what is this inquiry inside doing? Man tan pi-aas darsan ghanee. Mind and body both are now dying of thirst. What thirst? Darsan. To see, to experience. Darsan does not mean looking at somebody. Darsan means experiences from within. Looking at somebody is dekhna, to see. Darsan is not seeing. Darsan is experiencing from within. So what has happened? Because now we are dealing with something which is beyond the bounds of physical senses. So we are not going to relate this thing with worldly experience. Because you can say, yeah, I know that urge. I remember my first crush. I remember we could not get off the telephone. And the hour of the night and the morning did not matter. I remember my first night of meeting my lover. We kept on telling each other, now tomorrow is a work day, would you please go to sleep? And the other one will start something else again and we'll start talking again. For another hour went by. Oh, come on now, be quiet. And the other one will start another one. I know what love means. No, you don't. Because then love you are interpreting with your physical senses. the feeling of touch, the feeling of smell, feeling of sound. Your lover is made of flesh and bones. It is few body parts wrapped around with a wrapper called skin. It is that box, these pieces that are put under that skin, which is giving you all the sensation, oh, I love you. No, this is not that. This has freed itself from all bondage of physical sensation. Hence, the eyes are not going to help you to see him. You cannot see him. You can have a darsan, but you cannot see him. And the darsan will be from here, with the closed eyes, with the ears plugged in. That is darsan. Man tan pyaas darsan ghani, intense longing to feel that joy from within. Koi aan milaavai. Now, like a madman, you are just running around in the world. Somebody tell me his place. Somebody help me. But that's not going to help. Nobody can take you there. You can yell, you can scream, you can ask for, let somebody come and do it for me, but that's not going to work. And it doesn't work for anybody. What can they do? This is what they can do. Sant sahaa-ee prem ke haun tin ke laagaa boy. Sant, the one who have been there, done that, knows it. So what do they do? If they give you these do's and these don'ts, then they are not sant. The real sant does what? Sahaa-ee prem ke. They start supporting and encouraging your love. They keep on cheering you up. Let this love go deeper. Stay with this love. Oh, but that just hurts. Accept that hurt. Oh, it's very painful. How long it will take? Don't ask that question. Just stay in love. Sant sahaa-ee. Sahaa-ee means to support, to encourage, to become a cheerleader. You know, the cheerleader never goes in the field and throw a pass, right? A cheerleader cannot take the ball and throw a pitch. But somebody who's throwing a pitch, wow, 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 wow. Go on, bravo, bravo. A true master, a true sant, a true enlightened soul becomes your support mechanism. Support mechanism of what? Of you? Of your body? No! Sant sahaa-ee prem ke. They are encouraging your love. They are feeding your love. They are not serving your body. Because again, body is physical. And physical cannot connect. Non-physical can connect with the non-physical. Energy can connect with energy. If there are not energies, there is a candle lit up over there. You bring a little wire and put it on near the candle, what will happen? It will just heat up the wire. But wire will be separate, candle light will be separate. But you bring another candle lit up and put two of them together. Can you see where the one light began and the other light ended? They just merge. Energy has no weight, shape, form. Even science is beginning to accept energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Now, if you accept the scientific hypothesis, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, that means the sound, the heat, the light, the electromagnetism, gravity, they were always there. No, wait a minute now. If you say that it is always there, our Big Bang theory is going to fall apart, because the Big Bang theory says all these energies came into existence at the time of Big Bang. Okay, now Mr. Scientist, make up your mind. Is it that energy cannot be created or destroyed ever? Or is it cannot be created after the Big Bang? See? They are trapped in their own language. Energies just merge. And what we are dealing with is the supreme energy out of which all energies were born. So you cannot use the senses. Love is an energy. And love can experience his love from within. From outside, he is no friend of mine. Right? Look, he does nothing right for me. I'm getting old, I'm hurting, I'm not sleeping well, I'm not eating well, there are no friends, no family. He is no friend of mine. But slow down. You are mixing opposite things. How are you going to mix water and oil? They may stay next to each other, but they cannot merge. Physical cannot merge with the non-physical against the law of nature. But non-physical will merge with the other without replacing or hurting anything. That's why sant sahaa-ee paraym ke. They will support and encourage the sensation, the feelings of love for him. If you can find such a friend, seek his or her help. How? How tin-ke laagaa paa-ay? How? Surrender your ego to that. Touch the feet. Bow to such a soul who sees that love in you for him and start cheering you up. on, go. Don't give up. One more push. Don't back off now. Those of you who are regular gym members and have your personal coaching guides, you know how they push you. Right? One more push. Oh, I'm tired, I can't. Just one more. And when you are done with one more, he says, well, great job. Now show me that you can do another. And just one at a time, at the end of it, say, did you just notice you have done 50 pushes, which you said you could never do? Had I told you, you are going to do 50 pushes, you will never try. But just one at a time. Same way, if I told you that between you and the Creator, there are 7 layers. Oh no, I can't get past all 7. But if I say, just one more, just from the physical, just get to the ether, get to the ethereal. And you get to the ethereal, one more, just get to the intellectual and emotional. And if you get there, just one more, get to the astral, you will know your future and your past. That's sant, sahaa-ee, paraym. If you find such a cheerleader, throw yourself in his feet, surrender your ego and follow without doubt or without question. Because remember, if you fall back from now, from where? Asun, paraym, umaahrhaa, milee-ai. The first step, the start of love, the spark of love. If you fall back from there, then when parabh kyun sukh paaye, doojee naahee jaaay. Then you are going to write off the life of blissfulness forever. Why? Because you are going to be when parabh kyun sukh paaye, without getting his sport, you cannot live a peaceful life on this planet. That's your original sin. You are paying the price of original sin when you said, I am I and you are you. That was your original sin. We name our children, but we never go back and tell them, please understand, this is just a label. This is a social convenience. We could have called you child number 3 rather than calling you John. But we didn't. It would have meant exactly the same. Dr. Dhani is child number 3. No need to name. He can be identified. Child number 3 is John. Please understand, don't take this so seriously. Hey, I am John, son of Dr. Dhani. No, you are not John. You are much more than that. You are something very mystical, something very spiritual, something very, very precious. You are a gift of love from Him. Honor that. But that's not what we teach our children. What do we teach? Don't bring bad name. bring infamy to my name. Because somebody is going to say, this is Dr. Dhane's son. You better be good. Honor your name. Whole life is spent, I am jaa, and I am good, and you better respect me. Had we gone back as parents and told our children names are just labels for social convenience, stop putting that importance on the name and start putting importance on who you really are. That essence, that ray of the sun, that part of that energy which is reflected in you. If you do not accept that and do not follow that, then what is going to happen? Vin prabh kyon sukh paaye, doojee naahee jaaay. Nothing else is going to happen. Doojee naahee jaaay. No other. Doojee means the second one. Nothing else can help to make the life blissful, happy, peaceful. Because if you are attached to the other, the ego is going to grind you 24 hours a day. I have spoken, this shall be done. What is that? Doojee, the second one, the other one. Now you are attached with the other one. I have said it, it better be done. It never occurs to us, what is he saying? Have we ever said that? He has said it, let it be done. No. I have said it, let it be done. The whole life goes on like this. Continuously trapped by our own created separation from him called our ego. Know one very important quality of the ego. Everybody can see the anger, right? Visible on the face, the body, everything. Anger. Everybody can see the love, the attachment. Everybody can see the greed. Everybody can see the desire, kamana. You yourself cannot see the ego, your own ego. You can see 4 out of the 5. You can identify right away. Am I under the control of my anger, my attachment, my greed, my desires? That you can see very clearly. But am I being driven by my ego? You will never be able to see it. Somebody else will have to point out to you and say, sir, who's making these statements if not your ego? And the ego can fight right back and say, you're all nuts. How do you know these statements are coming from my ego? Are you God? The ego will challenge. Because you are calling somebody, sir, who's making these statements? And you say, this is not my ego. Okay, sir, what is it? It is self-respect. Now we coin a brand new word. I have a self-respect. I have respect in the society, in the country, in the world, I am somebody. I have to hold on to my dignity. Another word, dignity. Is there any place for humility in these things? Not at all. Mark my words. You can work on the four because you can see them. Working on the ego is very, very challenging work because it hides behind nice sounding words. It creates arguments, logic, justifications, self-indignation. How dare you call me that? No. Are you calling me egotistical? No, sir, I am not to call you at all anything. Can you not see it? No, I don't see it. Okay. Good luck to you. Have a nice life. Vil parabh kyon sukh paiye? If you are detached from him, then you are attached. Your ego has become crystallized like a tower, unshakable by any ocean storm. And you need to be alert about that quality of the ego. Doojee naahee jaaay, jinHee chaakhi-aa paraym ras se taripat rahay aaghaa-ay. Those who have tasted it only once, chaakhi-aa, literally taste, not eat, not swallow, just taste. You just get a little taste of that love. What will happen? So forever and ever you will go into such a peaceful space that you are totally unfamiliar with it now. You have never seen it, never known it, never felt it, but when you feel for the first time, it is so intoxicating. Now you do not want to get out of it. You want to stay there forever and ever. And nature says, no, 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 no. I just wanted you to have the taste. So that you can now learn to develop it further, more and more and more. jinHee chaakhi-aa, those who have tasted what? Paraym ras, the sweetness of that love. Say taripat rahay aaghaa-ay. Taripat means to be contented forever. No other desire left. No, watch my words. I'm not saying no other need left. Body does have a need, right? It needs 1,500-1,600 calories of energy to be given every 24 hours. I'm not talking about the need, but I'm talking about the desire. I had my dinner now I need a cup of coffee, and where's my sweet dish, and then I need some mouth freshener, and then some warm cup of milk to go to sleep. I thought you already had your full calories. Yeah. These don't add calories, do they? It's just a chocolate cake. It's just to change the taste of my mouth, that's all. And we justify these things. The mind is so clever in coming up with the arguments to justify the holiest of the actions and the most heinous actions. Mind can find the justification for it. a father of a 5-year-old girl takes an iron rod and pushes it into her private part, killing her. And the case goes to the court, and judge asks the father, why did you kill your own daughter, who was just 5 years old? And he said, I had my doubts about his virginity. It was a question of my honor. And the judge accepted that argument, and he was released. An argument created, argument given, and argument accepted of a ruthless murder of a 5-year-old child. That's how devious this thinking mechanism is. That's how devious this mind is. It can come up with arguments and logic to justify anything. How do you save yourself from it? jinHee, chaakhi-aa, paraym, ras. The only way to save yourself from this type of debauchery of the brain is taste that love for him. Just once. Honestly and truly, just taste. Just once surrender to him and feel that peace inside. And if you do that, what is required then? Aap ti-aag binati kare. Aap, the self, the ego. Ti-aag means surrender to him. Nobody is saying kill the ego. Nobody is saying you should not have the ego. Surrender to him so that he can guide that ego to the right action. Because after all, you are going to execute the action that is given to you by him. Now you are going to say, wait a minute, now you are confusing the hell out of us. How do we? He doesn't talk to me. He might be talking to my padri, to my church, to my mosque, to my synagogue, to my temple. But he's not talking to me. How will I get his advice? Well, that's why you were told in the first line, taste the love for him. If you are truly in love with him, you will hear his voice. Because love means getting your ego completely out of the way. Can any woman go to a man and say, look how pretty I am, you better love me? Can this be done? Or can a man go to a woman, look how rich I am, you better love me? If you start telling the other how good you are you actually convincing the other to love you, or either fear you, or envy you, or hate you? Can that create love? If I just sit here and tell everybody how good I am, does that generate love? Has anybody ever seen this happening? You tell me, what do we do when we go look for a mate? What do we do? Don't we tell what I have? how good I am, what my achievements are. Isn't it? And we expect the love from the other side? No, we get the competition from the other side. If you are MA, I am double MA. If you are a PhD, I am a double PhD. If you are handsome, I am prettier. If you have $1 million in your bank account, I got 4. Is this creating love between the two? No. Love says you can find many more better than me. I just love you. That's it. Punjabi song with that exact statement. तेरे जिहा कोई कोई मेरे जिहियां लखां ने. You are a rare gem on this planet, and I am a commoner like zillions of them like me. That's the language of love, where this surrendering is taking place, not a competitiveness. So what you do? Aap ti-aag binti kare. Not only you surrender, now you are in pure request mode. You are not even asking. You are in a begging mode. That will create love in the other, automatically. Any kind of competition will create anger, hatred, separation, distance, envy. It will create all negative kind of energies. If we know that for human love, how come we don't apply that to him? We know if I go to a human and count my qualities, I'm going to get a pushback. But we go there and do exactly the same. I have given so much donation, I have built so many churches and mosques, I have printed so many copies of the Holy Book, I have done so much distribution of the food on every Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness, how much more you want from me? We do the same thing with him. As if he doesn't know what we are doing. Aap ti-aag binti kare. Not only surrender, now become a beggar. Request. And what do you request? Leho Prabhu ladalai. Oh, please accept me. Let me be with you in any corner where I can be close to you. Just allow me to be in your presence. Request. Don't ask, don't tell. And all our prayers are asking and telling. Isn't it? When we go and pray in every religion, oh Father in heaven, please do this for me. And heal so many people. And give so things to this. And take away this pain from so. So what are we telling him? Either do something or not do something. Our definition of prayer is, tell him whatever you're doing, I don't like it. and I want you to change, and here is the list. Make this into this and this into that. This is our prayer. And now we are on a worldwide tour of the world, telling them the power of the prayer. For your information, there has been study after study called double-blind studies. Double-blind studies mean you create a control group and give them one set. You create another and give them the opposite. And you create a third who has neither one of them. That's called a double-blind study. In all double-blind studies, there is irrefutable proof that the prayer does nothing. Because the third group is where you compare. Because it is a 50-50 crapshoot. If you said it, 50% this way or that way. If you didn't say it, 50% this way or that way. And those who are absolutely quiet, they are also the same 50% in this way or that way. I would strongly suggest that you should read up on your own and just Google power of prayer, and you'll get pro and cons and the latest research on the power of prayer. I am not suggesting you suddenly stop praying. If you are praying, please continue. You have to see within yourself. This should come from within yourself. Do I have a right to ask the Creator to change His plan, positively or negatively? Or do I need to learn to submit to Thy will be done? Should I start practicing Thy will be done, or should I continue dictating to Him, and sometimes He listens and sometimes He doesn't? And that's fine. It's your choice. Aap ti-aag binati kare, surrender yourself. Leho Prabhu raa-ay. No other demand except, please allow me to be in your presence. How? Physically, I am in His presence all the time. Right now, He is with us, every one of us. Physically, we are with Him all the time. We are away from Him from within, because inside is saying something else, the mouth is saying something else, the ears are listening to something else, and He is sitting quietly and saying, well, would you ever look toward me? Bodily, you are with me. Why are you not with me in mind and spirit? That's what is required. Leho Prabhu ladalai. Let me be from within. And if you go in that state, jo har kant milee-ai se vichhad kate na jaaay. There is one guarantee for you. Because this is something, if you once achieve it, you are never going to lose it. There is no falling back from here. You earn money, you can lose it. You win somebody in love, you can lose it. It doesn't matter what it is. You can lose it in this world. There is only one thing. You can never lose if you ever get it. Jo har kant milee-ai. If His grace is there and He accepts you, you are never going to be pushed back. You will never lose that again. विण प्रभ विण दूजा को नहीं, नानक हर सरनाए, असू सुखी वसंदियां जिन मया कर राय. Without him, there is absolutely nothing else. Have this thing absolutely etched in your heart. Surrender to him, and then you can expect the life of complete peace and blissfulness, fulfilling your physical needs and not suffering for your desires. That's only possible if you start following on those footsteps. So that's the hymn number 8 on page 135. We'll take a pause here. If there is any comment or questions, the lines are still open.